opening vistas of space promise high costs as well as high reward. We set sail on this new sea because there is new knowledge to be gained. The exploration of space is one of the great adventures of all time. And we mean to be a part of it. We mean to lead it.
Captain, I am fully updated and ready to assist with tasks.
You
Good to know,
find any
Vasco.
fortune out there? How about we see how they look in the collection? Wouldn't mind seeing if the eye gave you the right way of it. Collection starting to come together.
Yeah, what's your take on the Starborn?
Find myself thinking of the fleet. You know you can take a mark, you don't open comms. It's all storm and fire and sifting the wreckage after it's over. But if you're not so sure, you play the bully's gambit. Hope they don't challenge the threats you throw at them. Sound familiar?
Interesting idea. So you're saying it was all just posturing?
Thoughts taking a stroll through my mind is all. A striker lurking in the shadows has good reason to hide. Won't be easy to drag them into the light.
Well, was hoping you could point me to another artifact temple, maybe?
Found one. Easy as a needle in the stack. Hope those powers you're getting to overinflate you. Got enough egos in Constellation.
I don't plan to be an ego, but thanks for the warning, as it were.
Ever since I got here, this has felt like home. These people are family. I hope it feels that way for you too. We've always considered ourselves explorers, but this really is uncharted territory, isn't it?
It is. What do you think about the Starborn?
You mean what could be the biggest discovery in the history of humanity? Yeah, I've got some thoughts. Scans are still inconclusive, but I think we've seen enough to know that we're dealing with something potentially even more unusual than the artifacts. There are so many questions beyond just who are they? How did they find you? How do they know about the artifacts? Why has no one ever seen them before?
Well, I don't think there's too much to worry about. We'll get the answers eventually.
They did openly threaten you, as I understand it. I'd say that's something to worry about. It was one thing when this was just about us investigating the artifacts. A weird phenomenon that didn't come with creepy threats or questions about aliens or whatever it is that's going on now. I know we'll figure it all out in the end. It's just kind of a lot right now.
Well, try to keep this perspective. They threatened me. I didn't feel threatened.
See you later.
Ask if you've got questions. Speak up if you have ideas. We're all here for the same reason. This is all exciting, but there's really a lot of pressure on us, isn't there? We have to get this right.
Do you really think the Starborn are avenging angels? Or are you just being figurative?
There's certainly precedent, isn't there? We've been operating for a while now on the fringes of what humans, know and understand. Why rule anything out? I just think we should be open-minded, keep everything on the table.
I'm not sure that the angels would need spaceships.
I did say it was a metaphor, didn't I? Never meant it to be taken completely literally, but you never know. Maybe they appeared in a form we're familiar with. It's the argument I have with Walter every other week. Science and reason have their place, but so does faith. We have all of them at our disposal, and I don't for 1 second believe they're mutually exclusive.
The only problem with faith is that it often leads to religion. That's all I'll say.
Good luck!
How about you, my love?
Any troubles you need to share?
Got some questions, maybe?
If it means I get to spend more time with you, then ask away.
Well, I think I've asked all I can.
Very well. Next time, then.
More importantly,
You can tell me anything.
you've made all my dreams come true.
You are the best thing that ever happened to me. I'll be counting the minutes to our next chat.
I have to talk about the Starborn. Do you have a second? You do, right?
Well, what do you think about it?
It was awesome.
Any other thoughts?
Right? How could we not talk about it for the rest of our lives? It could be the dawn of a new era of humanity. Or it could be an elaborate prank or any number of mundane explanations.
Honestly, if we look at it from a certain perspective, it could just be a new ship from any faction of regular old humanity.
That's a smart hypothesis. Makes sense, but we have no observations to really back that up. Yet. Although now that you mention it, I do remember a drunk conversation with a Marine. He swore up and down he was part of an elite crew on some top-secret ship out there. But this is all anecdotal. We just need more data. There has to be a way to draw them out and figure out where they're coming from.
Well, we know they wanted the artifact. That has to have some kind of a significance.
It's one of our few facts about them. It seemed very important to them, too. This could be a turning point for humanity, you know? Or it could be just the emergence of a powerful new faction, or some sort of elite military tech, or a gazillionaire with nothing else to do. All we know is that they wanted that artifact badly.
Does it matter why they wanted it?
It's possible we've misinterpreted their actions, or that they were under duress. We should remain cautious with them, but I think we should leave the door open to communication.
Well, hopefully we learn what their motives are.
Agreed. That is going to require more observations, more encounters with them. And who knows? Maybe we'll never see them again.
Well, based on my encounters so far, they've been nothing but hostile.
Noel, whenever you're bored, I've got a seat in the ship with your name on it.
time is it? Huh. I guess time goes flying by when you're not paying attention. Good night, Walter. You know, why don't we have a little...
Hey, let me know when you're ready to take me along with you. Should only be a few years.
You're very cute, Sona. I think getting some sleep before we continue probably a good idea.
That was a perfect way to end the day.
We probably should have actually gotten some sleep too, but I feel re-energized. How about some breakfast?
Nice work. What else are you going to make?
How about a scramble? Hey, Sam. Any thoughts on recent
The
events?
galaxy's too big to be stuck in the same place.
Seem kind of antsy.
Late at night in dive bars, sometimes the old-timers share stories about things they've seen that they just couldn't explain. Ghost stories, if you will. I've heard of things like the Starborn before. But they're real. Honest to God, real.
The universe is vast and, well, there's a lot of it we haven't seen.
But you carry on for centuries of exploration, and you can fool yourself into thinking you got it all figured out. Clearly we don't. So the obvious question is, what the hell are they? Everyone's gonna be thinking aliens, but maybe not. Their ships were incredible, but they still felt like ships. They had engines, weapons, I think I even made out a grav drive. If they were really alien, I would just expect it to be more... alien, you know? I mean, it could be some secret Freestar Varun or UC tech. But I don't know.
Honestly, I agree with you. They didn't feel exceptionally alien to me.
Exactly. I'm gonna throw out another wild stab in the dark theory. Maybe they're from outside our known systems. Here's the hypothetical. Centuries ago, some brainiac scientists decide to play settler. But they go way, way beyond any place we've ever been to set up stakes. Once they get there, they make a few lucky breakthroughs, and their science just snowballs from there. I could see them getting further, faster, and hence become the Starborn.
That certainly sounds possible. Could be it, Sam.
If I got it right, then you owe me a steak dinner. One way or the other, we are not alone. And that's... that's both exciting and terrifying.
Agreed.
Bet you never expected to end up involved in something like this.
I really didn't. When I joined Argos, I expected to just be quietly left alone, mining on random worlds and asteroids, and just disappear. Seems I've gone the opposite direction. Walter.
At this point, I don't care what you have to do to get that project back on track. Within reason. I'm expecting big things from you with this ship project. Don't let me down.
Well, alright. If you're that serious about it, I'll go see him right now.
Until next time.
Private sector. Now that's where the real money's at.
Stroud Starbase isn't too far out of the way of where we're going. Before we go, though, I want to make a quick stop.
But, you know, the question...
Not that elevator.
Are we alone in the universe? It's statistically obvious that we aren't.
I know I just gave you that new suit, but I want to see if maybe there's an even more protective one. Maybe we can modify that one if not.
At your ship that landed not too long ago? Sure is something.
Thanks.
Telling you, Bianchi, something's wrong with the boots you sold me. I wear them to the metro. Suddenly, the shuttle runs late. I buy a cup of coffee, and the barista screws up my order. It's like I'm walking under ladders with a broken mirror in my pocket. And the only time it happens is when I'm wearing your boots.
So, what do you want me to do about it?
I want a damn refund.
Fine, fine. I'll take the boots back. Just don't tell anyone you bought them from here. I got contacts all over. Stock may not be so reliable, but I got ways of getting things.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about spacesuit upgrades.
Happy to make a deal. You need stuff, I need credits. It all works out.
Let me see what you've got.
Take your time. I got all day.
Just the same ones. That's okay. Well, you know, I couldn't help overhearing that situation.
Ugh, right. The boots. I hate to admit it, but she has a point. She's the third customer to return the pair, all for the same reason. The boots might really be cursed.
Where'd you get them?
Like most of my supply from one of my UC contacts. But after the second customer returned the boots, I got curious and I did some digging. Turns out they were seized from a House of Arun ship. That alone is enough to convince me something's amiss.
Why not destroy them?
And risk releasing whatever's inside them? I've seen enough horror vids to know how this goes.
Have you ever tried wearing them yourself?
I thought about it once, but then I thought better of it. Best not to tempt fate. And besides, they're more my size.
Well, honestly, it sounds like a lot of coincidence. Maybe even superstition that helps become self-fulfilling.
It doesn't matter if you believe it. Somebody might, and that's bad for business. Hey, you're a pilot, right? Maybe you can do me a favor. I've heard of a UC station at the far end of the galaxy called the Den. You go there and stash these boots in a crate, and I'll give you credits as a compensation.
Why not just jettison them into space?
Believe it or not, I actually tried that. And you know what happened? Some UC pilot picked up the cargo and somehow it found its way back to my store. No, I wanted the boots gone. But I also want to know exactly where they are.
Well, sure, I'll deliver them.
Finally, someone to give these blasted boots the boot, if you pardon the expression. Here, I'll have your credits for you when the job is done.
Sounds good. That was weird.
I didn't fight in the war, mind you. I just used them recreationally. I usually.
will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep moving.
On deck.
Anything I can do for you?
What about you, Andreja? Haven't asked.
Never would I have imagined to encounter something like these Starborn. Now I feel that rather than having answers, we only have more questions.
Well, we shouldn't be that surprised. Space is so vast, and we've barely scratched the surface of even our own galaxy. Must be full of things we couldn't imagine.
I suppose this proves that idea succinctly. Regardless of how impossible they may have seemed before now, I must say that I do not like being threatened by anyone.
They seem like they're trying to scare us away from something.
If so, what would that be? Clearly, these Starborn are connected to the artifacts, which would mean that they are also connected to that temple you found. Did they make these things? Have they appropriated them? This all implies there is something more, something we do not yet understand.
Well, if we keep going, I suspect we're going to run into them again.
Yes. Given our first interaction with them, that seems likely. We will need to be on our guard from now on. They seem to know much about us. Perhaps we can learn more about them to make it even. We should return to our search then. There's still so much to do.
I agree.
Looks peaceful from up here, doesn't it? Grav drive spinning down. Systems green.
Unknown vessel, welcome to Stroud Eklund. You are clear to board.
security looks good.
I'm Walter Stroud, and on behalf of Stroud Eklund, welcome. In our new state-of-the-art Star Yard, we are creating
know if you have any
revolutionary
problems.
new starships at prices that are out of this world. You've seen the rest. It's time you try a Stroud Eklund.
Tried and true is what we should focus on.
So this is the Star Yard Walter can't stop talking about. I can certainly see why. It's a monumental operation.
Welcome to Stroud Eklund.
I'm, authorized.
You know what? Maybe she has some marketing insights. Okay, but what if? Sorry, hear me out. What if we went for the family recreation demo instead? It's a much bigger market than Explorers, and no one else is doing it.
Oh, seriously?
That's a little different than I think we were all expecting, but a really good point.
I also worry that would limit us creatively.
Hey, back up. Nev's got a point. It's something we could easily build. And I'm sure the number crunchers could make it turn a tidy profit.
Thank you.
But I do think a solid, no-frills ship with a large cargo capacity would be even more practical and doable, given our time frame.
Look, everyone, we need to come together if we're to succeed. Let's change direction and do a little thought exercise. Okay, fine. Maybe we should all just go back and develop our ideas some more before Walter's consultant, friend, whatever they are, gets here. The decision's apparently out of our hands anyway.
I suppose this would be the time that I introduce myself.
Hi there.
I'm here to speak to you about this new ship project.
You must be Walter's colleague. He informed me that you'd be taking charge of Project Kepler despite the fact that we have a fully dedicated R&D staff already assigned to it. But that's okay. I'm sure that even though you have virtually no experience with this, you'll do a great job.
Well, actually, I have plenty of experience designing starships.
Oh, I just assumed. You know what? I'm really sorry. I should trust Walter knew what he was doing. My bad.
Even so, we have plenty of designers.
As you probably know, we're tasked with coming up with Stroud Eklund's next hit starship. But we have budget concerns, market research to finish, and we can't seem to agree on a design. So I guess Walter sent you to resolve these issues. Have at it.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about the team first?
Sure. I'm Jules, R&D project lead. Was the one making all the big decisions. I suppose I just coordinate now. You already heard from Frank. He's lead designer on the project, focused on the look and feel of the ships. There's Ella, another senior designer. She focuses on some of the more technical designs of ships. Went to school with Frank. Mike is our senior engineer, responsible for consulting on all the technical bits, the machinery, the computer systems, etc. And then there's Nev. She's here for marketing. It's her job to weigh in and sell this thing to consumers.
Okay. And what are you finding so hard about choosing what kind of ship to build?
There are a lot of factors to consider. Who is our market and what do they want in a ship? Which components are we putting into it? How fast should it go? How much cargo capacity should it have? What color should it be? We need to decide every little detail.
Makes sense. All right, let's get to it.
Ah, right, so you mentioned. Let's move on to solving our budget issues then, shall we? We were charged with building the newest, hottest ship on the market, which won't be possible unless we petition the board for more money. So we have two new budget proposals. One will allow us to build what I consider to be a very sensible ship, but we'll have to make some tough design cuts. The other will allow us much more flexibility to put whatever we want into the ship. It's what I call the kitchen sink proposal. I don't love it, but it'll be next to impossible to approve. What should we go with?
What kind of cuts would we need to make for the sensible design budget?
It's more that we can only choose certain design elements at the expense of others. In other words, if we go with something in Mike's design, there's not enough money in the budget for what Ella wants. That's one of the reasons we haven't been able to agree on anything.
And why can't you use the original budget you were given?
I'd love to, seriously. It would be a huge win for us if we came in under or at that budget. But none of the viable designs for this project can be made for that amount. I've already rejected that budget, so I have to go to the board regardless. And since you're now responsible for the major decisions, which budget proposal we go with falls on you.
Well, a smaller budget will help us focus on the design, which is part of the problem, it sounds like, so let's stick with the sensible budget.
That sounds good to me, but remember, this ship will have fewer bells and whistles. We're not going to be able to include everything we want. Frank's luxury design has the most expensive components, and we've been having trouble convincing him to move away from that idea so we can stay within the budget. We need his help. Do you think you can get him to budge?
I am right here, you know.
I understand you right here. Well, let's talk about what we can cut from your design, Frank.
I already gave my answer to Jules. We cut nothing.
That's not how this works. You're gonna have to listen to reason.
I'm thinking about it.
There are other cheaper ways to give the customer a luxury experience besides just the aesthetic.
I suppose maybe I could work with Mike to figure out what sort of components we can put inside the ship to give the consumer a smoother, better ride.
I knew you were a reasonable person. I think we can agree that compromise is the best option.
I try to be. Fine. I see what you're saying. Perhaps we tone down the luxury aspects a bit. Does it really need so much gold trim? Probably not.
Well done. Sometimes all people need is a bit of guidance to set them on the path to success.
Great, that's one problem solved. I'll go forward with that budget proposal and we can move on. Next, we need to gather some market data. The best way to do this is to outfit your ship with some sensors and take it through some real-world scenarios so we can make more informed design decisions.
Well, why me? Aren't there better ways of gathering that kind of data? Other people that do that for their entire job?
Well, Mr. Stroud believes you fit in our target demographic. We heard about some of your adventures, and we tend to agree that getting data from someone like you will be helpful. Frankly, most of our test pilots played a little too safe, and the scenarios we run don't push the limits as much as we can get away with legally. But luckily, we don't have those same concerns with you, because you're not technically employed by us, and Walter trusts you.
Well, alright. What kind of, situations do you need me to get into?
Great! Just pick up a mission or two at the mission board and proceed like you normally would. We'll collect the data when you return. If you take on a variety of missions, we can build a ship to handle a variety of scenarios. But if you just fly one mission, we can build a more focused ship. It's up to you. In the meantime, you might also want to talk with the team, get to know them, give feedback on their proposals, etc. Good luck out there.
Sounds relatively easy enough. Ella, correct?
So, you're Walter's friend. I know he chose you to head this project as some sort of favor. Honestly, as senior technical designer, I was hoping to receive that honor, but there's always next time. Regardless, I'm excited to help you out. Do you have any experience building spaceships?
I've basically built my own ship and its beast, but I would consider myself more than an amateur at this point.
This is wonderful to hear. I hope for all of our sakes that you are not overselling your ability. Now, I know you've been asked to give feedback on our design proposals. Would you care for a brief synopsis of mine?
Of course. But can you tell me about yourself first?
I'm the most senior designer on this project, for one. Despite all the acclaim he gets, I actually referred Frank to his current design position. He and I were in the same design program when we went to get our degrees back in uni. We support each other as friends as much as possible. Even when we disagree. I love my job here. But I dream one day of working for a small startup or running my own design firm so I can work on custom ships instead of mass-produced products.
And what sort of ship did you have in mind?
Of course. But first, let me ask you this. What pilot demographic is currently being underserved by the current Starship market?
Well, I have my own ideas, but I feel like you have your own, so why don't you tell me?
Well, you're no fun. My idea is a little less conventional. I believe we should invest in making a dedicated exploration ship, marketed towards citizen scientists. Sure, we and other manufacturers have lines of exploration ships, but none built with the average consumer in mind. It's my hope that we can jumpstart a new era of affordable, accessible space exploration, fueled by ordinary people like you and me.
And how would you design a ship like that?
I'd start with a small ship profile. It won't need much storage or passenger capacity. Then, of course, you would want an advanced grav drive to reach deep space and plenty of energy for extended flights. In order to keep costs down, it likely doesn't need expensive weapon systems or defensive measures. It won't need those where it's going. And of course, high-end scanners and other scientific equipment is a must.
It's not a bad concept, but it seems like it'd be a pretty niche product, and honestly, if you've been out in space, you never know when you're gonna need those defensive measures.
Yeah, that's what Jules said too. But at least that gives me something to think about. Thanks. I'll refine the idea and propose it next time, I guess.
What do you think of the company?
Why do I feel like answering this could be a trap coming from someone who was sent here by Walter to step in and take over our project? It's not like I have anything to hide. I used to think working for a super wealthy corporation would be terrible, but honestly, it's pretty great. They've been good to me, and the stability is way better than any startup. I've had opportunities I wouldn't have anywhere else, so yeah, pretty great.
All right. Thank you for your input.
See you around, I guess.
All right, Frank. Get it off your chest.
You know, I have designed spacecraft for over 10 years. So, you must have really impressed Walter for him to give you this project. Or maybe it's a bit of nepotism. Never mind that. Perhaps he sees in you what he sees in me.
And what exactly do you think Walter sees in us?
My hope is that he sees the passion in our work. In truth, I know he values me, but he has yet to truly cut me loose from the corporate reins and let me do as I wish. But I understand Walter has given you much greater control of our project. Perhaps I can learn from you and convince him I'm ready for the same.
And can you tell me about yourself?
As a designer, I see the beauty in our craft and deliver that to the consumer. My desire is to make flying in our ships a joy to all the senses. I have won awards. I am proud of my work. But I do not like to brag. Rather, my goal is to change the board's perception of employees like myself from mere cogs in the corporate machine to value us as artists and let us do as we please.
Well, I was asked to get some feedback on your ship design proposal, so let's hear it.
Ah, yes. At least you may be more open to my ideas than my colleagues. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Imagine a luxury craft designed for the most discerning of tastes. Every feature designed for comfort and peace of mind. High-end performance, precision engineering, a spacecraft for those who wish to be seen. This will be the most elite personal craft on the market.
And, what would your design be like that?
The ship should be mid-size, spacious but not bulky. We'll want to build it with the highest quality, most expensive modules available. It should feel safe, but not threatening. Focus on defensive measures, not aggressive weaponry. Above all, you should be able to picture your favorite celebrity, or Walter himself, flying this ship and influencing others to buy as well.
Well, it sounds like an interesting idea, but I think you might need to refine your pitch a little bit better. I feel like focusing only on the luxury market limits the long-term sales possibilities.
I think I understand what you mean. It is not enough to say it's a high-end luxury ship. Who is flying this ship? Where do they go? What is their story? And why do they crave such attention? Oh, thank you. I will think on this and improve on my proposal.
What do you feel is so important about wanting to sell ships to celebrities?
2 words. Conspicuous consumption. Are you familiar with this concept?
Why don't you explain it to me?
Of course not. It's when someone buys something expensive, mostly because it is expensive in an effort to show off their wealth to others. So, if we target what the wealthy elite and celebrities want and sell the ship at a premium, they will buy it, and others will follow in order to be trendy. Imagine a star like Borealis is seen getting out of one of our luxury ships. Everyone is going to want one, so they too can feel like a celebrity.
Well, thank you for the input, Frank.
Yeah. See you.
This is going great. Just fantastic.
Okay. Mike? As a fellow engineer, what's your opinion?
I'm wondering if we need another chef in the kitchen. Then again, I hear Walter brought you in to finally make a decision around here.
That's the plan. Has that been a problem?
Well, how do I put this? My co-workers are smart people. But between you and me, they're in way over their head with this project. Jules especially. She's new at being a project lead and has insisted we design by committee, so everyone's voice is heard. Admirable. But no one could agree on anything, and we're running significantly behind because of it.
Well, I'm glad to be of service then.
Good. Just so long as you don't push us to make anything too nutty. I think your decisiveness will put us back on the right track. Speaking of which, I think my plan will get us where we need to be as quickly and efficiently as possible. It's simple, no frills, and most importantly, won't cause me any major headaches on the engineering side.
Okay, but first, what can you tell me about your role here?
Couldn't figure it out from the engineering talk? I'm an engineer, mate. It means I'm the one who's got to put together all these plans and actually make the bloody ship fly. Been doing it for going on 25 years at various star yards. They still haven't realized this place would fall apart if not for me. Instead of letting me get to my work, they keep giving me fancy new titles and got me tied up in endless meetings like this one.
It sounds like this project is hard on engineers. Why is that?
Let me tell you. All the creative minds around here are so concerned with designing the most innovative and fancy ships possible. They never stop to think about the kind of work it takes to do that in a reasonable time frame. Yes, we're engineers. Our job is to make the bloody impossible possible. But that doesn't mean it's easy or practical. That and there's never enough of us to go around.
Well, as an engineer myself, say no more, I get it.
Of course you do. Because you've been in my shoes and you know it's the only sensible way to go with a project like this. So I'm thinking, there's loads of fighters. No sense in mucking about with that again. And we've already got one of the best luxury liners in the biz. What I figure is, the cargo running business is booming, and no one's quite built a personal craft like that to serve the working class folk. Nothing fancy, no frills. Just a simple, sturdy, inexpensive ship with cargo room up the wazoo and make it so easy my cousin's little moppet could fly it.
Seems simple enough. Any other design considerations?
Our objective should be to build a huge ship with plenty of cargo room while keeping the costs low. Doesn't need fancy equipment, just the basics. Basic weapons, basic defenses, basic scanners. You get the idea. If we go with a design like that, I can focus on quality construction, and the ship will practically sell itself.
Well, I love the idea. I think you're on the right track, but maybe you can make your pitch a little more exciting.
Yes. Of course. Zhuzh it up. Just enough to disappoint me even more when we ultimately end up choosing something ridiculous. Thanks.
What do you think of Stroud Eklund?
I assume you mean the company and not the people. Because even if I didn't already think so, I'd tell you that both Walter and Issa are great. The company's still kind of young as far as Star Yards go, but it seems to be going in the right direction. Despite what it may look like. I've been doing this for a while at other Star Yards, and so far, we're avoiding a lot of the mistakes some of the older corps have made.
We got a business to run. No time
But you don't like being involved in R&D then?
I do like the ships we're...
Nope. Not really. I like to think I don't have the ego for it. I've got nothing to prove, and I don't rightly care to make my mark on the industry. But all I want to do is build the best damn starships I can, not get bogged down with all the excess particulars. But upper management loves the work I do, and they wouldn't let me say no to this. I guess they needed someone to keep everyone's heads out of the clouds, so here I am.
All right.
Hope we didn't scare you off, huh?
And, Nev?
Hi. Need something?
Well, you seem a little on edge. Is something wrong?
Oh, no. Well, it's just... I'm a little new here, and everyone's got these big, flashy designs. And I'm supposed to come up with one too, but like, I don't know if it's as good or like, good at all, even.
Well, nothing I've heard so far has blown me away, so it can't be any worse.
Can I tell you? Part of me was hoping you'd say that. So, I was thinking that we could really use a recreational craft in our fleet. But not like super luxurious like our Adonis pleasure yacht, something marketed more towards families. Something Mom and Dad could pack up and take the kids on vacation. You probably think that's stupid, right?
Actually, what would it take to design a ship like that?
I haven't thought of all the details, but I'd imagine lots of passenger space would be a top priority. A mid-sized ship with enough room for one, or maybe even 2 or 3 families to spread out and relax. I don't think it'd need any fancy weapons or scientific equipment, so it should be pretty affordable. Families don't want to spend a fortune, so keeping the cost low will help guarantee plenty of sales.
And do you really think that ship is, would be in demand?
I used to go off-world camping with my family when I was a kid. The other families we met always complained their ships weren't quite adequate for family vacations. They never had enough room, and the kids would always fight. I've done some market research, and no ship manufacturer seems to be making ships for things like this. Which means even if the demand is low, we can fill this niche and still sell a lot.
Well, a recreational ship sounds like a great idea. Unique, fun. Would need to come up with a little bit more details on it, but I think it's a solid plan.
Oh, really? Wow, I am... Thank you. I'm really glad I told you about it. Well, if we end up making it, I swear I'll work up a hell of an ad campaign for it.
And, do you like working here?
So far I do. But, just between you and me, I feel like I'm in a little over my head. I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing. But my bosses really seem to like my work, so... I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm doing something right. I still feel weird pitching ideas to people who have been at this for so much longer than I have.
And, what's it like marketing for a ship manufacturer like this?
It's interesting. I'm new, and I've never done anything like this before coming here. Marketing for ships, specifically, that is. There are so many things to think of for different demographics, like style, features, cost, and all that. And you also need to think about offensive and defensive capabilities, because space is dangerous, and people need to feel like the ship they're buying is safe.
Well, it sounds like you're giving this a lot of solid considerations. You mentioned you were new. What'd you do before this?
Yeah, I've only been here for a few months. I did a little marketing for Chunks before this, but it was really more of an internship. Ships are totally different than that. I applied for the job here on a whim because I thought it'd be fun. I never expected to be hired.
Well, I can tell you that Walter doesn't just hire people out of the blue, so he must have seen something in you. All right.
See you later. We're all super glad you're here, right, everyone? Well, we are. I'm actually kind of amazed we finalized the budget. That was relatively painless.
I could give a little bit of feedback on the design proposal, if you'd like to hear it, before I go off and do the next part.
Oh, yes, I actually do have a proposal. I wasn't really expecting you to give me feedback, but why not, I guess. I'd like to see us branch out a bit more in the starfighter market. Bounty hunting and mercenary work are both big these days, especially among the hard-blooded free stars.
adventure then.
And there's a lot of demand for starfighters?
I'm glad you brought that up. No, and yes, there's a lot of work out there that requires a capable fighting ship. But the real success comes from UC military contracts, which we would hope to attract by building a higher-end version of this ship platform for them.
And what would you put into a starfighter like that?
We'd want to give it strong weapons, tough defenses, plus good speed and maneuverability. Most starfighters are fairly small, and the tricky part is keeping costs down with all those fancy modules.
Well, maybe you should work on that pitch a little. I'm not quite sure a consumer starfighter is the way to go.
You could be right. There's got to be a better way to pitch the idea. I'll give it some more thought. Thanks.
All right.
We'll talk later then.
I'm gonna go do some extra research and I'll return in time. We should actually take a mission.
I can't decide which model to get.
Looks like we'll have to go somewhere else to get a
Repairs on our old ship just keep piling up.
personal mission. Personnel. Cargo.
Hey.
I can see why Walter needed some assistance with this.
Undocking complete, Captain.
All right. Well, we've definitely been to Charybdis before. Let's go to the den. See if there's some kind of a mission there.
Jump complete. Normal propulsion restored.
This is UC Space. You are cleared to dock with the den.
Coordinates on outer hatch. We're docked.
Hey, how's it going?
Good to see you.
The UC did a hell of a job piecing this station back together after the Serpent's Crusade rolled through. Well, this station's seen better days. I wonder if the UC will ever fully restore it to its former glory.
Who are you? Some interesting things for sale.
Ever wonder how the Crimson Fleet seems to be everywhere?
No.
It's because they have little outposts everywhere. There were so many facilities abandoned after the Colony War, the pirates used them
Don't
as
think that's
forward
appropriate talk
operating
coming from a Vanguard
all
pilot.
over the settled systems.
That's exactly your problem. You don't think. If you weren't such a lousy reporter, you wouldn't be stuck all the way out here.
I mean, I guess maybe that's true, but if so, you're just as stuck out here as I am. So what does that say?
Oh, wow! You really do want me to kick your ass, don't ya?
All right, that's enough. Bastion, go cool off. Get a drink.
Whatever. Fine.
Holden, I appreciate that you have a job to do. I really do. If you're stationed here long term, that means you're around these people all day, every day. They're not going to like it if you're making them look bad.
I'd heard the Den wasn't quite living up to its old standards, but this... Oh, it's definitely worse than I expected.
More discretion in your reporting. Maybe a lot.
None of us would be here now weren't for Ve Victus. We'd all do well to remember that.
I'm on what you call
Hey there.
a
Ain't seen you before.
assignment.
What brings you to the Den?
So long as the UC keeps paying me.
I'm, just passing through.
That's so. Not many have reason to pass through here. Seems like most avoid it. But what do I know? I'm just an old man who's been here too long. Well, you're welcome here, so long as I don't hear you disrespecting the United Colony's military. You got a problem with our history or our heroes? And you can find somewhere else to get yourself a drink. Clear?
Well, I'd like a drink.
Selection might not be the best, but you're welcome to any of it.
Hopefully I'm welcome to most, if not all of it. Because that's the plan. Oh. Thanks. It seems like this place has seen better days.
Tell me something I don't know. You should have seen this place 30 years ago. UC's best and brightest were in and out of here all the time. But then the Colony War and, well, most folks don't like to be honest about that. I ain't one to turn my back on those who saved us in those days. And because I won't dishonor the memory of Vae Victis, business dries up. Ain't my problem that people don't like to face the reality of what happens in wartime. Man was a hero, not a traitor.
Tell me more about Vae Victis.
Oh, he was a brilliant man. Just brilliant. Best leader we could have asked for in a crisis. He made the tough decisions no one else could. Did what needed to be done. And saved our asses. And when it was over, they turned on him. Called him a traitor and executed him. Just shameful. Well, not all of us are just gonna go along with rewriting history. Some of us remember. We saw it happen. Vae Victis sacrificed everything to save the United Colonies. That's what a real hero does.
What he sacrificed was the lives of others. But you know what? I'm not gonna get into it with you. You have your opinions.
Long live the UC!
Sure. Well, we might as well take it anyway. If there's a threat.
Just one quiet day. That too much to ask for?
I would imagine that this place is pretty quiet all the time. Let's look for a place to dump these boots.
Hey, newbie. It's a nice set of boots you got there. They for sale? I'll give you, say, 500 credits for them. They'd look better on me anyway.
Trust me, I'm not sure you want these boots.
I don't know. Looks like they're perfect. Sturdy, polished, and just my size. But fine. If you don't want to sell, it's your loss.
Well, I mean, I didn't say I don't want to sell. I just said you might not want them, but... Well...
Back again, huh? 500 credits. They'll look better on me than you.
How about 1,000?
You drive a hard bargain. But fine. Here. To be honest, I might have gone as high as 2 grand. I'm not saying I ripped you off, but I'm sure as hell thinking it.
What? We got rid of them. Good luck with those boots. I guess we'll have to find a passenger mission somewhere more amenable.
maps released.
Alright, let's go ahead and go take care of these first. Oh wow, that's pretty far out.
Well, you didn't put us into a planet, so we must be in the right place.
Leave no one alive.
Oh, here we go.
Shield up and fire.
Enemy's grab drive has been disabled. Target has lost their grab drive. They cannot jump away.
Hello. There you are. I just had to see the newcomer. See if you live up to the hype. We can talk if you like. I am a busy lady. So rare that someone new comes along. From the sidelines, it's a real treat to see everyone scrambling. It's very profitable as well.
Who are you? What are you talking about?
It's not yet time. I don't even know if it will ever be. But hope and my pocketbook springs eternal.
I'd really appreciate it if you explain yourself.
I really can't say. As much as I'd like to. It may mean nothing, but I'm rooting for you.
Rooting for what?
Sorry, can't say. Hopefully all will make sense in time. Good luck.
I really have no idea what you're talking about.
I remember being on your side of a conversation like this. Just don't give up. I hope to see you at a much later date.
Well, that was weird.
Landing struts primed. Retros firing.
Hey, it's always a good day when you come around.
Another dead rock. Well, at least we can scour the place for materials.
It's always nice when the terrain makes it easy to find. It's actually fascinating how well it hides in the darkness. If I didn't know what I was looking for, I actually might not see it. Like we might need to be boosting up there.
I don't know if our instrumentation is rated for long-term exposure to this level of cold.
Well, fortunately, we have our suits to protect us. Yeah, okay. Guess here seems as good a place as any. It's interesting. Every temple seems both unique
Coming here is the sort of thing I dreamed of when I was a child.
Similar. Yeah? Like the obvious similarities, and yet there's a uniqueness to each one as well. I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing things.
Ruins are fascinating. Oh, I could spend years studying this location. Nice bit of work there.
As much as I think these suits can handle it, we should probably get out of here. Especially with the lightning. You don't want to be the tallest thing around when that's happening.
Is mining on the schedule today?
Gotta be honest, Lynn, I don't know that mining is ever gonna be on the schedule again. Maybe I should find a nice world with a lot of war and set them up at an outpost. They might be happier.
Pressure holding. Takeoff looks good. Stay in orbit or jump. Your call. Grab jump complete. Navigational feedback checks out. We're in the right place. What's buzzing, cousin?
Target practice!
Target has lost shields. They're vulnerable. Enemy's jump drive is offline. Lost its engines.
just remembered where I remember Charybdis. We picked up Amelia from there.
I will never get tired of that.
Easy, buddy.
Enemy shield system has been damaged.
This all you got?
Enemy's engines are offline.
Torments lost their shields.
Nice jump. We're right on target. Landing side looks clean. Let's set it down. Hi, how's it going? Yes?
From what I'm seeing, this world has all the essential building blocks to support life.
I would say it definitely has a lot of life on it. Just like almost any world with life, I kind of want to avoid most of it. Because there's always things hunting other things, and we're just another thing to hunt.
Exploring ruins, uncovering the mysteries of the universe. This is exactly what Constellation is all about.
I'm definitely glad I joined. The benefits definitely outweigh the dangers. again, in case I wasn't clear, you're definitely one of the benefits. Don't want to be too subtle.
We still have so much to learn.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like they're too interested in teaching. They just want to attack us. Which I suppose in and of itself is a sort of lesson.
Of something you might be interested in.
How are you, Dusty?
Where are we off to this time, Captain?
Stay in orbit or jump. Your call.
Well, we need to get ourselves a passenger mission, and why don't we go ahead and take care of going to Hope Tech, talk to Ron Hope.
Let me show how it's done.
Shit.
Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this.
Enemy shields are down.
Take them out.
Let's do this.
Target shielded, knocked out their shields.
Smooth jump.
Mayday!
Nice one.
Mayday! This is Freestar Ranger Nia Kalu. If anyone is hearing this, system's failing. Need help. I repeat, need help.
Welcome to Freestar Space. We're gonna do a quick scan for contraband. You could be on your way. And that's it. You're cleared to land at Hopetown.
And we're locked in.
Hey, you need something?
You okay?
Please tell me you're here to help, not to try and steal my ship.
I'm a ranger deputy. My name's Kidaen. Marshall sent me to find you. Didn't expect to see you in this situation. Need your help, actually.
You need my help. I'd laugh if it didn't hurt so much. I was tracking a crew of outlaws that's been preying on merchant ships. Bastards got the drop on me. I ran them off, but they got a few good hits in. As you can see, I ain't in much shape to make repairs.
Those ships still in the area?
No, no chance. They took as much of a beating as I did, while outnumbering me 3 to 1, I'd like to point out.
Well, we need to get you to a doctor.
I'll be fine once the pain medication kicks in. The priority right now is the ship. Can't do my job without it. Just patch her up enough to get to Hopetown. The rest can get fixed up there.
All right. You just rest.
Thanks. I owe you one.
We're happy to help.
So let's talk.
Thanks. That should get me home.
Next time, maybe consider some backup.
You've probably noticed by now, but the Freestar Rangers ain't exactly an army. Most of the time, we're on our own. Now let's talk about those outlaw ships. They were pretty beat up, so I don't think they got real far. But if they make it back to their hideout, I might never find them again. We can't let that happen.
What can you tell me about the ships?
Light armaments, not too fast. Pilots are gifted amateurs, but still amateurs. You'll be outnumbered, but they'll be damaged, which should even things up for you.
All right, just let me know where we're headed and I'll handle it.
They look to be heading for Polvo's moon Miatha. Good hunting.
I'll see you back on planet side.
things for you.
I suppose talking to Mr. Hope can wait.
Hey, it's always a good day when you come around.
Hello.
Oh, excuse me, Lynn.
Separation complete. Jump systems up. They've lost grav. Huge enemy grav drive is back up and running. Their grav drive's down. Enemy's shield system is offline. Targeting fixed their grav drive. Target's grav drive is down. They managed to repair their grav drive. It will not shift. Target's shields are offline. Enemy's propulsion systems offline. The enemy has repaired their grav drive. Propulsion we should not let them escape. Offline. Enemy's grav drive is online. All right, let's cycle that airlock and get aboard.
We're here to talk, but I don't imagine they're gonna make it easy, if at all possible.
Do I find you?
not exactly who I was expecting to find on board. Damn it. You know, it'd be nice if one day these people would surrender.
I have something for you when you have a moment.
Stopping by for a chin wag, Captain?
What do you got, Sarah?
I'm here for you, my love.
Fishing for a handout, eh?
You're the one that offered. Thank you.
Talk to you again soon, darling.
Hey, how are you?
We're free and clear for flight.
Star Space. Please hold your current speed and heading while we scan you for contraband. scan complete. You're clear to land.
Landing initiated. Watch your flaring.
While we're here, we should swing by HomeTech Star Yard and see if they have anything interesting for sale.
Well, that's sort of the plan.
I don't want to hear any complaints.
Hey.
I remember meeting Ron Hope once. Idealistic and perhaps a bit of a dreamer. But you have to admire what he's accomplished.
Keep an eye on your valuables. If you can't protect your own, you don't belong here.
Ron Hope certainly
You made
embodies
it.
the same.
Those outlaws didn't
spared
give you
no
too much trouble, I
expense.
trust?
First things first, how are you feeling?
I can walk, talk, and breathe without too much pain. That's good enough for me.
Well, they put up a pretty good fight, but really they were no match.
I'm sure they didn't want to die any more than you did. It's a pointless and stupid waste of life, but they brought it on themselves. You've got good timing. A courier just came in from Aquila. The Marshal sends his regards along with a briefing on your case. I was surprised as hell to learn about the Starship theft. Nobody said a word to me about it. Anyway, Mr. Hope can see us whenever you're ready. If you need to take a little time first, feel free.
Nobody from Hope Tech reported the Starship theft?
No, and I can't get answers as to why not. I'm sure Mr. Hope has his reasons.
Well, I guess let's meet with Mr. Hope.
His office is upstairs. He's in a meeting, but it should be wrapping up. Come on. I'm guessing the Marshal already told you this, but I'll say it anyway. Ron Hope isn't just the founder and president of Hope Tech. He's on the Council of Governors. The Council oversees the Free Star Rangers, so don't rile him up. I've spent a long time trying to build a good relationship with Hope. He comes on a little strong, but there's a lot to admire about the man. Everything you see around you, he built. Pretty much everyone in this town owes him for their livelihood. Can't begin to imagine the kind of pressure that must put on someone. All I'm saying is, try to show a little respect. it just me, or does every executive in the settled systems have an office on the top floor? I guess being above everyone makes them feel like they're, well, above everyone.
As for parts, we could try outsourcing. Do a contract with scavengers, maybe, but that's a decision that's got to be made upstairs.
Well, talk to Elaine about the scavengers. It's not a bad idea, provided we get a good deal. And I don't mean a fair deal. I mean a good deal. Remember, it's not just our bottom line that matters. We're also responsible for the welfare of everyone in the factory. We look out for our people here, Burchett. That's a point of great personal pride.
Excuse me, Mr. Hope?
Well now, the Free Star Rangers. At last! Dan, good to see you, Leah. I think we're done here, Burchett.
Yes, sir.
This is the deputy I told you about.
Splendid. Splendid! It's a noble calling, being a Free Star Ranger. We certainly could use more of you.
Good to meet you, Mr. Hope.
I'm sure I don't have to tell you what an outrage it is to have a ship stolen right out of the factory. Justice must be done, and the sooner the better.
Well, we found your stolen ship on Montera Luna.
That's good news. I'll send my people over to bring it home. Of course, that doesn't mean your work is done. I want the thief found and prosecuted to the full extent of the law. I'm sure I don't need to remind you of my position on the Council of Governors.
I'm sure you just did remind me about your position.
Then, I trust that you know what I expect of you. Now, tell me that you've at least got a lead of some kind.
Well, it appears that the ship was delivered to a group of men who were trying to acquire the farm.
Though what happened after the ship was taken doesn't concern me. What does concern me is making sure that this doesn't happen again. Well, I'm not sure I can be much help, but I'll answer whatever questions I can.
Well, I suppose the first question is, why didn't anyone report the theft?
Because I told them not to. If word got out, it would do irreparable harm to our image. I'm in fierce competition with other Starship manufacturers. Any sign of weakness could be fatal. What's more, every Starship thief in the settled systems would likely flock to Hopetown and start planning the next heist.
Well, the thief seems to have had inside help. Do you know anything about that?
What? Nonsense! We vet our people thoroughly here. HopeTech holds its employees to the very highest standards. Nevertheless, I suppose I could have Cosette conduct a thorough personnel review. Rest assured, if we turn up any evidence that one of our people was an accomplice, I'll let you know.
Did, anyone see the thief by chance?
We questioned everyone who was in the building when it happened, and not one person seems to have seen anything at all. Frankly, I think that's both highly unlikely and more than a little suspicious. However, I can't deny there are times when The hangar is empty, so it's not inconceivable the thief could have slipped in unseen.
Was there anything unique about the stolen ship?
No, nothing at all. It was just a standard HopeTech cargo hauler. Not that it didn't have great value, mind you. HopeTech builds some of the most durable and reliable starships in the settled systems. Now, you can bet my ships last twice as long as anything Stroud Eklund makes.
Well, thank you, Mr. Hope. I think we're done here.
Very well. I need you to understand something, Deputy. This town is home to men, women, and children who depend on HopeTech for a living. I provide jobs that put food on their tables and a roof over their heads. It's a responsibility that I take very seriously. If word gets out about the stolen ship, my investors will lose trust, and my workers will pay the price. I can't allow that.
Well, heavy is the head that wears the crown. I'm sure the burden of responsibility for your workers is an inconvenience, Mr. Hope. But the deputy has responsibilities as well.
Despite what you think, I have great respect for the badge and the difficult choices that come with it. But my primary concern is for the welfare of my people.
I understand your position.
I hope so.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Mr. Hope, but there's been a development.
Not now, Cosette. I'm in the middle of something.
But sir, we have new information. I've just received a report that the stolen ship was seen landing at Neon just after the theft.
A breakthrough at last. Well, Deputy, it sounds like you'll be heading to Neon, which means I can get back to work. Remember what we discussed. My people are depending on you.
Hey, can I get a word? Okay, let's talk about next steps. That wasn't as helpful as it could have been. Still, at least you know where to pick up the trail.
Yeah, I was hoping to learn more.
Yeah, me too. So, guess you're headed for Neon. There's a ranger stationed there. Name's Jalen Price. He's a little different than the rest of us. But Neon's a different kind of place.
Yeah. I've, been there. What, can you tell me about Ranger Price?
He's what I'd call a pragmatist. He sees things for what they are. He's also well-connected, which means a lot on Neon. You should listen to what he tells you. It'll keep you out of trouble.
Alright. I guess, I'll head to Neon, though I do have some other things to do before I get there. It sounds like I have time.
He should be able to help you out. Well, we've both got work to do. It was good to meet you, Deputy. Thanks again for helping me out up there.
Absolutely. Keep your eyes and ears open. I'm not sure we got the whole story here.
Yeah, the question of who helped the Starship thief is still an open one. Don't you worry. I'll keep an ear to the ground. You be careful in Neon.
I can tell you right now, we are not going straight to Neon. But eventually... Alright, let's see if we can get a, transport mission. Pardon me?
Welcome to Hope Tech Sales. Give me your invoice. You got the financing set up already?
Who do you think I am?
Some middle manager type? Like 90% of everybody I deal with. Listen, you may need to impress your boss and all, but I don't care. Let's just get this done as efficiently as possible, and I'll just tell everybody how amazing you were.
I don't have an invoice. I'm not really here for that.
You don't? Wait, you're a solo outfit, aren't you? Okay. Nice. Well, what you need to know about our ships is they're from stern to bow, built for reliability. Other star yards might got glitz or some weird crazy lines. With Hope Tech, you get people that care about you making that 300th freight run safely and on time.
I actually had a question about Ron Hope. What do you think about him?
Listen, this whole system was nothing until Ron Hope came here. He gave us a purpose, a mission. Something we could be proud of. To us, this job is life. And the quality of what we make shows it.
Well, I don't know. Aesthetics matter to me.
When it gets tough, pretty won't keep you alive. I'm just saying. So what are you in the market for?
Right now, nothing, but how'd you wind up here?
I worked the freight lines flying a Hope Tech ship for near a decade. Gertrude saw me through plenty of scrapes and just hard travel. Hope Tech ships will save your life. They did mine.
And, what can you tell me about your ships?
Our motto is, they're trucks in space. And captains pushing freight through the systems are our bread and butter. But Hope Tech builds solid. A lot of formidable scout ships and even military rigs use Hope Tech.
All right, well, thank you for the information. I might be back if I'm ever in the market.
If you change your mind, come back.
We'd be dust, except for the factory.
I appreciate you not laughing out loud when I said aesthetics matter to me. Obviously,
nothing ever good comes from
my
them.
ship is a little bit in evidence to the contrary.
Excuse me.
Payday is always a good day.
What?
escape trajectory plotted. Looks peaceful from up here, doesn't it? Drive spinning down. Systems green.
This is Free Star Space. Please hold your current speed and heading while we scan you for contraband. And that's it. Enjoy that Aquila City air. Welcome to Trident Star Yard. All customers are welcome to enjoy our amenities.
Nice clean dock, Captain.
Trident Luxury Lines. Trident.
Certain why we're visiting this star yard, it's doubtful any of us have the credits to afford these overpriced vessels.
You'd be surprised, Sarah.
Take it easy.
So again, welcome to Trident. Welcome.
But to answer your question, this is essentially what I used to do before I got caught up in some other situations. Just drop things off, pick up a new mission, drop things off, pick up a new mission. It's good work. I didn't used to specifically hunt pirates, but I guess I'm finding myself having more of a desire to do that lately. know, spacers, pirates, even ecliptic.
Hey,
They're all
you
kind
need
of,
something?
Pardon me. Well, they're a plague on the settled systems, and one less is pretty good, in my opinion. Of course, what I'm really looking for is a transport mission for people, but I guess nobody's looking to go anywhere right now.
Undocking complete, Captain.
Maybe somebody in Aquila City.
Good to go for landing.
The best part about this kind of work, it's honest. You know? Just deliveries, passenger transports, bounty hunting. You know, we might even consider looking into the whole Trackers Alliance. If this is gonna be the new life.
Aquila would be a point of world to retire on. If the damn wildlife wasn't so hostile.
That's what walls and security bots are for.
Evening.
Howdy. Then again, maybe not. Boy. Didn't realize what time it was. How about you and I go see if we still have a room at the Stone Root?
We need to be smarter, better in the way we handle the Ashta.
Well, that's kind of your job now. I guess the answer is no. I always lose track of time. Well, that's okay. I did buy a house here after all.
Capacity?
97.5%.
You just gonna stand outside my place? It is sold after all.
The Stretch Housing Project has many people volunteering labor and materials. A real community effort.
That's great. Of course, the one problem is it's not furnished, but you know, we can probably just set up a sleeping bag or something. Get nice and cozy. Just, you know, for a night. We'll get a real bed shipped over and let somebody interior decorate. For now, though, how about a nice night's rest?
Where the hell did you learn to do all of that? Oh, please don't say Neon.
Oh, Sarah. How about a real sleep this time?